Alright, welcome to the BroBryceCooks channel. For my debut video, I am going to do my now famous buffalo chicken adobo. And you guys can give me flack if you want to for calling this adobo, since it don't look or taste anything like adobo. I simply call it that because when it's done, it kind of has like a texture of adobo. Chicken adobo as I've had it. By real Filipinos. But it's not a Filipino dish, just so you know. This is just grilled chicken strips that I got at Costco. Frozen grilled chicken strips. And then what you're going to need is some chili powder. You're going to need some chopped onions. You're going to need a little bit of cumin, and you're going to need some of this rooster sauce, this sriracha sauce, and you're going to need a whole lot of Parmesan cheese, because we use a grip of it. So this is a whole bag of that grilled chicken strip stuff from Costco, and because it's frozen, it's going to take an extra long time, so I cover it up with the foil, at least until it starts getting brown. And I also use the foil when I start putting the seasonings on, just to get that stuff cooked into the chicken. So the reason why I call it buffalo chicken adobo is, again, it is it sort of has like the texture of adobo when it's done, but it's also like buffalo chicken in that it's sort of like breaded chicken because it's got so much Parmesan fried onto it. You want to put a whole lot of butter in this pan. And you can just do this with just the Parmesan and just the sriracha sauce, but I recently started adding the other seasonings to it to make it more. And the other additional thing that I add to it is Worcestershire. And it gives it a nice brown it gives it a nice brown color, and it also sort of caramelizes the outside. And the reason why I use this because it's relatively low carbohydrate for a teaspoon of it. We of course are going to use more than a teaspoon of it. Probably going to use I don't know, 3 or 4 tablespoons of this stuff. You'll see it'll be like splashes. So while this stuff is frying, you want to be turning it kind of regularly until you start seeing it getting good and brown. So if it starts getting good and brown, then you're getting close to where it's time to start adding the other ingredients. But just keep turning it, and then cover it again, and then turn it some more, and then cover it again. This stuff is pre-cooked all the way through already, so you could just take this stuff and put it in a salad just like it is. But we like to get it brown before we start adding the other ingredients. Cover it back up again. So aside from the chicken, you have 3 main ingredients. You have one is going to be the Parmesan cheese. That's going to be like the breading. This is a low-carb recipe, sort of, so Parmesan cheese instead of breading. This stuff will be like fried on there. You're probably gonna add some more butter to it, like a lot more butter, and this stuff will be like fried onto it, like breading. Parmesan cheese. The second ingredient that you'll be adding will be some Worcestershire sauce, and the third master ingredient is going to be sriracha sauce. I like to use the rooster sauce, as we call it. Some people call it something else, but it's in my house it's rooster sauce. Alright, now that our chicken is starting to get a little brown, I'm going to add some Worcestershire sauce. Quite a few splashes of it. In fact, just killed off this bottle. Start stirring that in, turning your chicken. Starting to smell awesome. You can add more or less of the Worcestershire depending on how sweet you want it and how brown you want it. The Worcestershire is going to make it more brown colored. If you want it more red colored, you might not want to add so much of the Worcestershire sauce. But you know, eating food is partly, you know, visually seeing the food. So I go for color as much as I go for flavor too. But some good looking food don't taste good, so, but this is killer. You're gonna love me for this, for sharing this recipe. I'm telling you, you'll eat this all the time now. This would be like the all-American food that everyone eats now. Alright, so now I'm adding the chopped onions. I like the flavor of onions, but I don't like it to be overwhelming. So I'm going to add some, but not a lot. And try to add this early on, because that way it kind of gets stewed into the mix and it really gets into the chicken. Otherwise, it's just going to be on the surface. It'll be crunchy. It won't be what you want it. You want this stuff to get like stewed in and really really cook down into the chicken. Okay, I'm going to add some cumin now. It's a lot of chicken, so I'm going to add a sizable amount of cumin there. I'd say that's probably about maybe 3 tablespoons. Now I'm going to add some chili powder. Again, maybe 3 or 4 tablespoons. I'm adding this early on because the more it cooks, the more it will be into the food, and it won't just be hot, but it'll be flavor that's cooked into the chicken. The earlier you add it, the more it cooks into the food, and the more it's part of the flavor and less of just heat. If you want it hotter, add some more cumin and chili powder, and by all means add some more sriracha sauce, because we're going to add that in a minute. But we're going to add that like after this is cooked down a little bit. So I added some more butter, some good chunk of butter there, and there's probably about that much already in the pan, but that much butter right there is going to spread out a little bit, help to kind of lock in the flavors. And those of you that are concerned about low fat, you know, you don't want to eat high fat diet, then you probably want to just like go on to the next video, because I don't make low fat recipes. I don't eat low fat foods. I eat low carbohydrate food. I don't worry about fat content. This is sweet cream butter, and it's not low fat. So if you're looking for low fat, look elsewhere. If you're looking for good food, this is where you want to be. So I got all those seasonings and the butter in there. I'm gonna lock it all in with the tin foil for a little bit. I got my stove up on sort of a little bit past medium. It's where I cook just about most of my recipes. Right now is about when you guys really wish that you could smell this. It's so awesome. Alright, so we're going to do the one-handed fail technique of opening up the sriracha sauce, which just sprayed everywhere. Awesome. I'm a messy cook. I'm going to add a lot of sriracha sauce, okay? Just like that. So I'm going to say that's roughly, I don't know, it's pretty close to a quarter cup of sriracha sauce. Probably, I may add some more, depending on how red this gets. But then I'm going to stir this up. Stir it all in, get it all stirred up in there. Again, this is going to be, this is going to start to like caramelize on the outside, get kind of crunchy on the outside. Part of the reason why I put the tin foil over the top is so that it doesn't dry out. With this much heat, it'd probably be real dry by now. You can see it's starting to get crispy and wonderful, and the smell is, whoo, it's amazing. Alright, so I'm looking for a little extra kick today, and I'm going to add some black pepper. So again, as with the other seasonings, you know, with this, you know, probably 2 or 3 tablespoons, maybe, tops. Mix that stuff in there. It's starting to look more and more awesome all the time. It's not red enough. I got a lot of chicken in here, so I probably need a bit more sauce. I like it to be kind of reddish. Sometimes I like it real red. But it seems the more seasonings I add to it as I keep kicking it up, then, you know, it tends to look more brown than red. But I like it to look red, just for the peppy color. I think one time I added tomatoes to this, and that like really made a nice color addition to this. I'm gonna add like the trippiest ingredient that you ever saw. I'm gonna add some apple cider vinegar, probably maybe a little less than a 1/4 cup. And what I'm doing that for is because, you know, apple cider vinegar, that's what's in your sriracha sauce and some of your other sauces to make the flavor come out. And that's what we're going to use it for today. Get all that flavor to just pop right out of this chicken, including the chicken flavor. Get that all stirred up in there. Oh my goodness, it smells amazing. Okay, time to add some more sriracha sauce. Adding the sriracha sauce generously. If you can't stand the heat, then, you know, you can tone it down. You don't have to put all this stuff in there. But I'm telling you, especially if you add some of the stronger spices earlier, it will cook more into the food, and it won't be like so, oh my goodness, it's so hot, you know. It'll be more like, I don't know, we call it the sneaker wave, because you end up with this food that tastes so awesome when it hits your tongue. It just tastes wonderful, and then it's a slow sneaker wave. It comes up on you and you go, oh, that's got some heat. All in all, with this whole bag of chicken that I stuck in here, 3.25 pound bag of chicken, grilled chicken strips. With that, the 3.5 pounds or 3.25 pounds of chicken, I've added about a 1/2 cup of sriracha sauce to that. And I'd say probably maybe, I don't know, 5 or 6 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. So now it's time to add the Parmesan. Apply generously. Again, if you're worried about low fat, probably click on the next thing. So I know that looks like a lot, but when it blends in there, it won't look like much. Blend it up, mix it all up, start rolling it around in that breading, that cheese breading, smelling better every minute. Don't you wish YouTube had a smell-o-vision thing going on? Emptying out the last of that Parmesan. I'll probably put a 1.5 cups to 2 cups of Parmesan in there. And gonna roll that around some more. But don't it look wonderful? I bet you could smell, you can probably smell it right here, huh? Okay, stir that up one last time. This will be about ready. My goodness, it's starting to get crispy down there. So you got crispy, you got juicy, and it kind of looks sort of shredded, sort of. I noticed that when I would eat like some of the Pinoy restaurants, you know, out in Tigard area, here in the Portland area, you know, they would have this chicken adobo, and it would be like shredded, almost stewed chicken. And that's why I call this buffalo chicken adobo. So here is our finished product. It's a little bit crispy and a lot of juicy. It's our buffalo chicken adobo. You like to pile about that much on your plate. And here in the city of Portland, when they serve up buffalo wings and buffalo anything, they pretty much use blue cheese as a side or ranch. But here in my house, we like to use blue cheese because it is the perfect accompaniment to balance out this dish. So put a little bit of blue cheese there on the plate. And you got the perfect garnish. Here is the finished product. I'm going to dip it right there in that blue cheese dressing, and that is so flavorful. It's just zinging with flavor, and now some of the heat is starting to come through, and it's just very balanced. It's very well balanced. It's very good. A lot of flavor in here. Oh my, the heat is starting to hit me. This is really good. If you are not on a low carb diet, maybe you're not even on a low fat diet or anything, this dish is amazing in rice. So like if you have like some jasmine rice or brown rice, or I don't know, you want to serve it on toast, it's incredible. You want to put it in a salad, you can put it in a salad cold. You can eat it the next day cold, right out of a bowl, and it's just amazing. It's really good. In fact, sometimes it seems like it's better the next day because the seasonings and everything have really, like, I don't know, to quote Christopher Walken, explored the space. One more thing that this buffalo chicken adobo is awesome in is one of my omelets. And I've already done a video for that omelet, and if you want to see that video, it's right over here. So check out that video. You will see the most amazing omelet. Julie and I have talked about, like, even like opening a, like, what if we opened a food cart where all we made was like one of a kind omelets all day long. So like pretty much every time I make an omelet, it's like an experiment, and we very often have what we call imagination for dinner and for breakfast, because sometimes you look in the fridge and what's in the fridge doesn't look like breakfast or lunch or dinner. It just looks like a bunch of different things, and sometimes if you use your imagination, which is what I like to do a lot, then you come up with some amazing, ridiculous, awesome dishes, and that's what I hope to show you most of on this channel. Very unique dishes. You wouldn't find these anywhere else. People cringe when they see my dishes. They would cringe if they actually saw my dishes. I hope you try this. I hope you like this recipe. I'm sure that you'll be thankful that I shared this recipe with you. My name is Bryce Tomlinson. This is the BroBryceCooks channel. I just want to thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, please make sure you click the thumbs up button down there. And if you want to see more recipes like my amazing omelets that I do all the time, please make sure you click subscribe somewhere around here, and you'll see more of that stuff. I'm sure you're going to see some of my like cardiac deadly omelets. Anyway, love you guys. See you later.